Have you ever had a day where you just wake up and you just instantaneously woke up on the wrong side of the bed and you're just irritated by like all the things? That is what today feels like. I'm just like angry at the world and just like don't care anymore. If you've woken up like this before, like what is the cause of that for you? For me, today it's just the feeling of complete failure. I feel like such a failure, and in more ways than one. Some of them, a couple of them I don't feel comfortable like sharing. For the most part, like I feel like I'm failing at like giving up sugar. I want to deal with this by eating lots of things. Today we are decorating for Halloween. I'm thinking, crap, Halloween. It is just all about candy and sweets. Maybe you feel this way too, but I feel like Halloween is like the gateway to months of eating like crap. Like you eat candy, and no matter what I say, like I've done trick-or-treating, of course, with my kids, and I really like being able to match our outfits when we go and do like family matching things. Every year before we start trick-or-treating, I'm like, okay, they're gonna get candy and I'm gonna eat one like while we're trick-or-treating. And inevitably, one is then two, is then three, and of course then it's like overdose. So I'm super worried about that this year. Even going into Halloween and trick-or-treating, like that's already in my mind of like, oh crap, I'm gonna do that. Like just not feeling confident. And so that's rolling over into today, and I literally just want candy. The more things I do, I feel like I'm just staying the same as far as like my weight goes. I do feel stronger, so working out has been really good for me. I did not want to do that workout, but I know when I do a workout, it motivates me. It makes you feel better, and it motivates me to eat healthier. And even though I had a pizza crust for breakfast and shared the rest with my dog, and then shared with my dog again a piece of pizza for lunch, and I had a granola bar. The granola bar had 4 grams of sugar, but that's okay because it's satisfying the craving. I had to go to the store today, and immediately the first thing you see when you walk into the store, the freaking candy display and the cookies and like the caramel apples. And it's like, can you people just give me a break? Like I don't need candy and that in my face. It's just everywhere and I hate it. It makes me feel like so stressed. It's like you have to be strong every time you go to the store. So I don't want to give in a little bit, and then it's like there goes all of the wasted time I've spent doing this. The one thing I have going for me today, when it's that time of the month, if I go for sugar, have a lot of sugar in a day, it makes my stomach hurt so bad, like extra strong cramping. And so that's almost like a blessing in disguise today, because that's going to help me not make an entire cake and then frosting and then eat it. This is the dessert I came up with. And while it's not super satisfying, it at least doesn't have a lot of sugar and is going to make my stomach hurt worse. It's like even with like working out, I feel like I have to watch every single thing that goes into my mouth because I'm afraid it's going to lead to a binge, and I'm afraid that I won't be able to control the cravings over time. So like my biggest thing right now is apples, and thankfully they're in season and there's like a ton of different ones that you can eat. Like right now I buy like the 3-pound bags of Gala apples. Maybe you say that differently, but I really like the Macintosh ones. But if you are in like the Northeast or somewhere where they have tons of different types of apples, try to find a ginger gold apple. Like those are by far my most favorite kind of apple like ever. Do you have any tips of how you deal with Halloween? Like, I know that's coming up, and I know I'm gonna want to binge on all of the candy. Like, we have this ginormous bag of candy in the pantry right now. Thankfully, it's not open because if it was open, I'd be sneaking candy out of it. How do you get out of a funk like this? I wish instead of a funk, it was like a day like my birthday when it's like you have this good excuse to actually like have a little indulgence. But right now, like all I would feel is guilty from indulging. But that doesn't make the desire go away. Like, why does it have to be so strong in the moment? It's like, I need to kick this to the curb, but it's not working. You know what one of my favorite things to do for Halloween is? After you get all that candy, I love making cookies. And so what I do is make the cookies and then I'll stick the piece of candy like inside like a Hershey's Kiss or some kind of a chocolate, and I squeeze the cookie ball around the chocolate and bake it. Let me tell you, that is so good. And I really want to do that this year, but maybe I can do that and like just have one. I think I'm going to try that because it's just like, I got to give in just a little bit so I don't feel deprived, but then like get back on track for Thanksgiving before that pops up for like the next huge in your face holiday that sugarholics like myself struggle with. But one of the things that I started doing a couple of years ago is like I'll do like mommy tax, and I'll take like a few good pieces of the candy, like the Reese's and that kind of thing, and I'll be like, this is mommy tax. But we still go through all of the pieces of candy for our kids and check them just to like make sure. That was a huge thing back in the day when I was little. My parents would check every single candy just to make sure like it didn't look weird or bad. And so I've just always done that. Like, is that something that you do with your kids too? Like, is that still a normal thing, or am I just overreacting? The last couple of years, I started like, you know, when you eat like most of the good candy and then you have left like the crappy candy that nobody really wants to eat, but then they eat it anyway. I have been sneaking those and just throwing those in the trash so nobody will eat them. And that's actually helpful for me because then I don't have the desire to get into the candy. You should check out this video up here if you want to see what I did to stop sugar cold turkey and the tricks that I used, because I think I'm going to have to put all of those into play starting tomorrow.